Welcome to the Real Estate Huddle. We are on episode 79 here, almost 80 here. And we're so excited to talk about Central Park today. Central Park, Denver, which used to be known as the Stapleton development. Now it's been redeveloped as Central Park. And so we're going to talk about this area, not Central Park, New York, guys. We are not talking about Joey and Ross and Monica and all those guys in their coffee shop.
Central Perk.
This is Central Park, Denver, Colorado, east side of Denver. And we're going to share with you why this neighborhood is actually, it is the largest neighborhood in the Denver area, residential neighborhood. And it is an awesome neighborhood and one to speak of for sure. So we'll kick it off. And I've heard the term of like Central Park being like the Highlands Ranch of the North because they have some of the best schools in the Denver metro area overall. And if you look on great schools, you look at the schools, the high school down to elementary school, they are 9s and 10s, you guys. It's like nothing lower than that. So very, very good school development. But what else stands out to you guys as you've driven by, seen Central Park, anything that
So talk a little about history. I've been here 20 years. You've been here longer. Do any of you guys remember Stapleton, the airport?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you ever fly out of it?
I did.
Really?
Never.
Okay, so it's,
Never flew out.
I was 16.
Yeah.
okay, so you were a little older than some of these people. But it was this huge airport in the middle of the city. That's nothing, this huge, back then it was Cowtown. Now it's not.
Well, before DIA, that was it, right?
That was it.
Yeah.
It was the Denver airport.
Yeah, really close to the city.
People thought they were crazy building that airport well out there in frickin' Wyoming, but now everything's built up. Anyway, that's the source of Central Park. It used to be the airport. It was a big chunk of space in the middle of the city.
And residents complained about the noise, planes flying by, and then that's kind of why they decided to redevelop it, and they needed the space probably around the airport there. So we joke that the airport's like an hour away from anywhere, right? It's halfway to Kansas. There's a lot of jokes about that.
As we should.
But it used to be the Stapleton Airport, and in 2020 they renamed it as part of a redevelopment effort for more inclusivity. They decided to rename it Central Park. And so that's what it's been called for the last 5 years. And one of the coolest, it's basically a multi-plan development, right? And there's a ton of variety in the architecture. That's one thing that I love is you get these really modern looking townhomes, next to urban looking single family type places. And then you've got more traditional looks in some of the places. There's just a lot of color too. So it's fun to drive through. It's got a great curb appeal to it and just community feel all around and new and fresh too. Doesn't look like a community that's dated because like all throughout Denver, you have a ton of like 1950s, 60s brick ranches, right? Mm-hmm. That are kind of drab to look at, honestly. I mean, there's some cool art. I mean, obviously there's Victorians, there's the Tudors, there's like turn of the century stuff that's really fun to look at. But there's a lot of areas that are just, more plain Jane. Central Park is exciting, it's fun to drive through.
Everything looks new. Mm-hmm. And the style of homes, even, it's like they're all built and now all the retail is being built around it. So there's just everything you could think of.
So I kind of remember, I was saying this earlier, Dick's Sporting Good Park, another great event, a great place in Denver to see sports and stuff. Mm-hmm. When I was coaching little boys lacrosse, we'd have this huge end of season jamboree up there. Mm-hmm. And this is going back 15 years. And Central Park, or then Stapleton, they started with the retail, and then they kind of started moving out. So what I remember is a lot of that, they're not brownstones, but they're kind of like brownstones. They're townhomes right there, walkable to all the retail, and then they kind of spread out into the more communities like we're used to down at Highlands Ranch. I think there's a lot of similarities in terms of, creating the central, and then you can get different living options as you get further away.
Totally. Yeah. And my first exposure to it was actually like helping someone buy a house down there. But then they invited me over to their place. We met up at Stanley's Marketplace.
Oh,
Stanley's
yeah.
is awesome.
I love
Like that's what like really put it on the map for me, is just like really cool neighborhood, because Stanley's just like this indoor, like it's almost like a hangar, right, for planes, like is what it mimics. But like they've got all these different like amazing restaurants, shops. They have a market that they do outside of Stanley's during the warm months. And so it's got a really cool community feel because of that. Denver Biscuit Company's there.
So we definitely need to do a deeper dive on Stanley Marketplace.
Yeah.
There's
no,
other
Stanley's
like
awesome.
places like that.
It's fun to just walk around too.
Yeah.
So that's a good example of elements from the old airport.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, they're
Is
still
that
there.
still like where the old airport was? They kind of kept
What
that?
it was, I can't speak to. I'm not.
Yeah,
it wasn't a
it was
hangar.
right
It's
there.
not like a big, tall, but unequivocally, that is a building that's been there a while.
Place though.
I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's close to 80 acres worth of park space within Central Park
Yeah.
alone as well.
Yeah.
Which is very hard to find within Denver. Obviously, we have some like Wash Park and things like that, but this is like a little bit more community-driven parks instead of just kind of like your typical city parks, right? But they have like which one is this one called? I think it's just called the Central Park, I believe. But
creative.
they've got a pavilion there for like little concerts they do over there, and they have like picnic areas and everything. It's just big open grass space with like actual play structures and everything. So with like being within Denver, this is an extremely family-centered community, and it's new and all different types of architecture like you were talking about. So there's something for everybody there.
Yeah.
But a really nice place for all walks of life.
And multiple pools that are included. Like that's why I say it's kind of like the Highlands Ranch in the north, right?
Well, it feels like a small community, I think, but put in the city, just on the outskirts.
Yeah.
So you're between the airport and Denver.
It's a suburb
It's a
within the
small
city.
feel.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're allowed to make those connections then, because like Highlands Ranch was a ranch. Someone sold the ranch, and you have a very discrete border that you can develop over some time. And here you had, there was a 10-foot fence around the whole thing because it was an airport. So the way it was planned is probably very similar to how they planned Highlands Ranch, and what I think Spencer's getting at with we talk in Highlands Ranch like 27% of all properties open space and trails. Sounds like it's something very similar up
Yeah.
in Central
Yeah, because I
Park.
mean, Central Park isn't huge. It's not the size of Highlands Ranch, I believe. I mean, you can narrow it down to, I mean, from Quebec to what's the other side?
Like Martin Luther King, isn't it?
Yeah, Quebec, and like I-70 cuts it kind of in half. If you want to consider parts of Northfield, I don't know. This map's interesting, but it's not huge. Yeah. And the amount of park space and like green space that they have there for being in Denver in a community is pretty rare.
If I remember correctly, I think the lots are pretty small. I think they build kind of up.
Yeah. It's more vertical for sure.
A little bit more
Yeah,
like
they don't
city.
really have a choice there.
But also
Yeah.
more commercial, like
Yeah.
more bars,
You can walk
cafes,
everywhere.
Yeah,
It
restaurants.
has
like
they have Denver addresses. Do they have their own address?
it's Denver.
This time,
So Denver address, it's a city, so it makes sense.
And the walkability to everything is pretty good.
Yeah.
When you consider like the suburbs of Douglas County and Jeffco and stuff, like it's still great.
Walkability blows Highlands Ranch away, and that's one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
things that I'll never dog
Denver.
on Highlands Ranch, but
Yeah.
it is like
Public transportation
It's so
and
much better. Commute to jobs better, right? But like the similarities come in the amenities, right? With all the pools, the rec center. The rec center is amazing, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they've got an incredible rec center. It's huge.
And I think the A line for like the light rail like flows right through Central Park. And I think does the A line take you to the airport?
Yeah, and you got all that connectivity. Like the public transportation also blows Highlands Ranch away. So if you're into that, like a little more it is the American dream, right? But like the European dream is that connectivity and being connected with public transportation, being a little closer to your neighbors, so you get to know people more. That all is just at a high in Central Park. So
Well, it kind of needs to be very easy to walk around and stuff because I don't feel like it's that easy to get to unless you're on I-70.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it is
I'm
right
not
off
really
I-70.
a lot on I-70 in that area. I typically don't go out there a lot.
Certain parts of the day you don't want to be on
Yeah.
I-70.
But you get off, I-70 at this area, and
Yeah.
it's all of a sudden it's super great.
Right.
But if you're coming from the south, it's kind of buried.
Yeah.
There are remnants. I remember going to a fundraiser at a old hotel that was by the airport, which was at the time in the middle of nowhere. But it's the very northern tip of Quebec, so right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're neighboring right next to like Park Hill area, which in itself has a ton of stuff too, as far as just restaurants. And
It's
Lots of walkability.
city living with
Incredible.
all the benefits of living in the burbs.
Yep.
yeah, it's
exactly
about
what
as
it
close
is.
as you can
Schools.
get to best of both worlds.
Well, and like we've got Noah with us today on our team. Noah, how old are you?
I'm 20.
Okay, let's bring the mic.
Yep.
So Noah's 20. Right now, Noah, are you concerned about schools? If you were to buy a house, you probably wouldn't be thinking too much about schools, right?
Probably not.
Because you don't have
Loaded
kids.
question.
I don't have kids, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But when you, like, once you have kids and you start thinking about your kid's school system and everything, like, then all of a sudden, like, neighborhoods that have great schools
it
become.
becomes the most important part, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All you want is the best for your kids. So having good schools, and that's why I grew up in Highlands Ranch.
Yep.
So I had all these great schools, and I went to Mountain Vista, and I did all that.
Yeah.
And they were great schools. There's tons of people. There's tons of people my age.
Yeah.
And so I grew really fortunate with that. And it sounds like Central Park kind of has that similar kind of way.
Sure.
I know exactly
It
how
does.
far it is from Highlands Ranch because my son went to 4 years of school at Denver School of the Arts, which is on Quebec and
So right there.
Montview.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's down there.
You're up there all the time.
It was a 45-minute drive from door to door.
Yeah.
And that was with normal weather, not snow weather.
Yep.
But, for that we considered moving there. Once he got accepted into a school,
Yeah.
they were like, God, do we really want to do this twice a day? But, and this was in 2014.
Yeah.
So it was still new. Things were still being built. So
Yep. Yep. Well, and yeah, Jesse, our editor who directs this whole thing, he'll put some pictures on here. You've probably already seen about the pools and like how nice the amenities are. Like that's what really I think drives the value in that community. That and the connectivity to everything.
So how many rec centers?
If you go to
One really
Just
big
the
one.
one real nice.
if you go
one,
to
right?
denver80238.com, it'll give you everything that Central Park has to offer. That's their actual website, and you can look up for yourself, kind of see what things look like, get an idea of what the parks look like, and then it also gives you a range of like you can browse homes by price range, so anywhere from like the 200s up to 900 plus. Get an idea of what the homes look like and if it's a good fit for you, but that's a good resource to look at because you
we-
get to see what the parks look like.
Do we know what HOA fees are in that area?
You know what? I don't remember.
don't either.
And I'm not sure if they're a part of the taxes, like the Metro District up there.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that
they might
might
just
be the
be a
case.
Metro District.
I'm sure, like on attached units, they have a separate one, but I think it's integrated into the property taxes. But I could be wrong.
I think you're right.
They also have a farmers market. I guess that's coming back starting June 25th.
Yeah, usually during the
Yeah,
warm
summer.
months. Yep. Yeah.
Not at Stanley, but separate.
This one is. That's a great question.
The other
Just
thing-
reading what the community website has right now.
I love the bike lanes and paths that they have in the community because that's one thing that we like. I think is so unique for anybody that visits Colorado and sees some of these suburbs that have like bike lanes for outdoor living and like exercise. They get used all the time. And so I think it's just another attraction for people that really love being outdoors, running, biking. There's a dedicated lane on the side of the roads on almost every street, that has that space for you to do that there. And if you've ever gone on vacation or lived in the Midwest, you know that that's kind of unique, right? Or like other parts of the country, like it's, like these narrow roads with a ton of hills and
Yeah.
absolutely no margin for anyone to do anything on the side of the road without being in like great threat of being hit by a truck, a semi.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the other things that you have to move there is a dog. I think I've not seen anybody there without a dog.
That's a good point.
It's not in the bylaws. It's just highly encouraged.
Bring your dog. Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, hopefully, and I wonder, do they call Highlands Ranch the Central Park of the South? Like,
Ooh.
do people?
First to market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no.
It's not all about Highlands Ranch, man.
No. How many
It's
times can
definitely
I
not
mention
about
Highlands Ranch on a Central Park spotlight?
Central Park, Central Park, Central Park. So now we're in.
There we go. Yeah, we've said it enough.
Central Park.
So hopefully you've had a lot of things that you've learned here about the area. Central Park is fantastic. We would encourage you to look at some of the homes in there. Average price is $836,000, so it is a little bit higher than our average price in the entire Denver metro area. But it's a great spot, and you've got anything from condos, starter, first time townhomes, single family homes to luxury homes in the community. And so there's a little bit of something for everyone. And that is what we do. We're all professional real estate agents here in the Denver metro area. And we can certainly help you through your home search if you're looking at Central Park or another area or location here in the Denver metro area. Always happy to help. Our information's below. Feel free to subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more spotlights like this one. And subscribe to our podcast as well, the Real Estate Huddle on Apple Podcasts. And hope you've enjoyed, and we'll catch you on the next one.